A pleasant afternoon to you. Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise, autoappraise.com. Down in Detroit, Michigan today, doing a pre-purchase inspection on a 1996 Porsche. It's a 911 cab with, I think, 46,000 miles on it. 282 horse flat six. Engine oil is very clean. I got the car up in the air. I guess we'll start there for the prospective buyer. If you're the one that hired and paid me for this video and this set of photos, then you are the only one who has possession of the links and the photos to check it out. Once the car is bought by the potential buyer or passed on, sometime later I usually put this video out there just to show people what we do. More of a marketing commercial. So if you need service like this, 800-301-3886. Still in the era of air-cooled / oil-cooled L6 engine. These cars weigh just over 3,000 pounds curb weight, 6-speed transaxle setup, air conditioning. This one in particular is not blowing cold. Engine bay is otherwise in pretty good shape. The belts have been serviced. I mentioned the oil is super clean. And the frame rail extensions you can see there on the passenger side and on the driver's side, they look like they're in good shape. Spot welds look good. No evidence of crinkling or crumpling or anything like that. There's some paper stickers, marks, and OEM marks underneath on the suspension and here in the engine bay, indicating some originality. I believe the wheels may have been upgraded / stepped up a little later in life, because if I recall correctly, in 96 you got 16-inch wheels, and these are 17s all the way around. Tire date codes are the 40th week of 2017 in the rear, and I think the 32nd week in 2022 up front. But they're all Yokohamas, and 205/50 17s in the rear. There's some very light marks on the wheels. They could stand to be cleaned up, first of all, just cleaned cosmetically, but little mark here, little hairline scratch right here, and 2 or 3 of the wheels show a little bit of wear, such as that. I'll do 20 or 30 seconds up close on each wheel for the prospective buyer on the car who's out of state, trying to get it figured out while I'm looking at the drilled rotors and the original calipers. You see a little bit of clear coat peeling on the calipers, but the brakes otherwise look like they're in pretty good shape. And that's basically a repeat on all 4 corners on the brakes and then on the wheels. This wheel's got a little bit of scuff right through the paint. This is the right rear, and then a little hairline crack right here. Don't know if that's a surface crack or something deeper, but it probably could get checked out. Let's take a look at the last wheel, kind of hanging up there in the balance, and a little bit of a hairline scratch right there. And just some general cleaning could be done. Significant tread remaining. That's a that's a front tire, and that's a rear. Rear tires, if I didn't mention, are 255/40 17s. So again, 17s on all 4 corners. Down here on the underside, the pan appears to have its original factory coating present. No aftermarket undercoating has been applied. A little bit of scuffage along the sill / rocker trim. Not much to report to the floor system chassis. Nothing to talk about regarding physical damage. Doesn't look like it was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Pretty good shape. I'm aware that's not a Porsche in that movie, by the way. Just a reference hoping some people can appreciate. There's some production marks on factory bolts and whatnot. Transaxle, take a peek at it while we're down here. And a little bit of just grease buildup, but no active seepage coming from it. This will move underneath the back. Car's been parked here for over 2 hours while I've been working on the inspection, and down on the ground I don't see any evidence of oil, and so that's good news, right? Factory suspension bushings present in the control arms, front and rear. They all look like that. The rear and front suspension coilovers have been upgraded and changed. They look nice. Did see some receipts in the trunk. I didn't read them in depth, but I saw some service work had been done underneath the car. I got to get over to the front. Up front here, ahead of the driver's tire, there's some surface scratching, some curb scratching underneath the lower valance. And the passenger side has a similar appearance. A little bit of scuffing here on probably OEM paint. Some rock chips noted down low. There's been a little bit of repaint work and a clear sag. Oops, right here, a little sag of clear there. And some evidence of the front bumper being repainted. As you can see on these bumperettes, it's a little bit of overspray where they taped them off, or attempted to tape them off. Probably could have got the tape a little closer. So other than some rock chips and some general wear along the front end of the car, it's presentable as a driver quality unit. No real issues with the lights and lenses other than just general age and some little pings and maybe a couple little chips here and there. Up here, the headlight squirters, that trim was not pulled either, as you can see. A few little rock chips along the front edge of the bonnet. Let's see if we can get a look at the suspension from here. And we can. There's our new cool purple yellow coilovers. Look at the brakes and suspension from the back side. Get my handy dandy flashlight on there. We can see that those lower control arm bushings look like they're in good solid shape. They don't look cracked up. No other major physical damage to report there in the wheel tubs. And again, factory crayon marks on some of the suspension components still visible. Sorry about that dragging noise, that wasn't nice. So no issues to really report down here other than some cosmetic ones which we just touched on. Let's cover the convertible top, I guess, which appears to be original. Stitching is in pretty good shape, and the material is in pretty nice shape. Here at all the folds and the bends, there's some typical storage marks from the top being down. It was down when I arrived, and I powered the top up, and it powered up and tucked in as it should. Same general storage stretches and marks there. No major tears. Needs to be lint rolled. Typical age on an almost 30-year-old plastic window and a few small marks. Nothing you probably can't live with if you're buying the car for a casual driver. Power windows go up and down as they should. On the other side, we've got a small roller mark. I'll go show that to you. Regarding the windshield, there's some really tiny little sand specks, tiny little gravel chips, not big rock chips, but they are present, and there's a handful of them, left and right. Here we've got a roller hash mark extending up the glass right there. May not be easy to see. Vent windows are fine, rubber seals seem to be fine. Doors open and close just fine. Door jambs are in good shape. Factory VIN present. hood release, or the rear hood release, and the trunk or bonnet release are working properly. Covering the interior, leather slash leatherette OEM setup. Carpet's in nice shape. I lifted up the mats and was able to pull all the mats out except this one, which is fastened down, and I could get it down. Factory sound deadening insulation is present. Typical general seat bolster entry wear. Just one spot there on the piping coming through. All factory stitching though. Smells good in here. It doesn't smell like cigars or cigarettes. I think that's a good thing, unless you like cigars and cigarettes, and then it'd be a bad thing. Door seams are in nice shape. Both of them look just like that. This armrest has some chippage in it and evidence of some blue, and that could be a little bit of blue splatter like on top of this black piece. I don't know, but both doors open and close and work like that. Both power window switches operate. Carpet is otherwise in good shape. This power seat on the driver's side, manual on the passenger side, and they both operate as they should. Nothing really to report in the back. I don't think anybody has sat back there or ridden back there. Carpet mats over the carpet mats. Rear package tray, good shape. Okay, we got through all that. The carbon fiber appearance on the trim, which may in fact be what that is. It all shows real nicely on the dash and all the surrounds. Here on the console as well, except the trim is lifted up slightly here from the shifter boot. I think that can go back down as it should. And then it's cracked right here at the parking brake. That could be glued together and probably hidden a little better than it is now. There's a blank plate switch here that I pushed accidentally, and it popped in there. I'm going to take responsibility for that. Someone's going to have to fish it out. This is the power top switch. There's no writing on it, and I was mistakenly thinking it was this switch. So, sorry. But in all seriousness, I do think it was loose. I think somebody's done that before, because it kind of popped out of there really easily. So really, again, nothing to report on the carpets. Nothing really to report on the door panels. This headliner is velcroed in, I believe, at the edges, and so it's in pretty good shape. Visors both pop down and seem to work okay. Looks like some white smear stains. Wonder what that is. It was the 90s, not the 80s. No cracks in the dash pad, as you can see. Gauge faces are clean, lenses are clear. 48,000 miles, 48,426. I think I said 46 earlier. And then a little bit of wear on this trim up here by the switches. All right, down the road we will go, and we'll talk about the paint and body and call it a day. I found this extra key in the glove box, and so that's a bonus. I'll put it back in there. You are my witness. There it goes. This car has a feature on it that you have to kind of lock and unlock the doors from the remote in order for the ignition to start. I was having trouble when I first got here, and I had to get schooled. So there's key forward, park and brake is engaged, we're in neutral. Let's see what happens this time. And just like it did last time. So let's lock the doors, and then let's unlock them and see if that does the trick. And it does. Got the caution light happening there, and I push that switch and it's off. So I'm not sure if that's magic or not. The clock appears to be working. Looks like my rear bonnet might be open. I better pause. Check that. All tucked in and looking good. I've got still photos of the trunk being all taken apart, and everything's in good shape up here around the shock towers. No unusual smells or odors. Boot cover is in nice shape. Doesn't look like they used them much, and there's a pile of receipts that there's photographs of. There we go. A little stone splash on the nose. Here is the kind of a hairline scratch here in the center. It may or may not wheel out a little bit. I'll take time here at the end to go through the small paint chips and whatnot in various locations when we return. Well, some now and some when we return. Alright, getting ready to take off. Gauge readings are as such. Temperature is just starting to climb. 6 miles on the trip odometer, 6.5. There's a caution light here that's on, and I'm not sure what it's for. Shows a picture of the something. Tried the air conditioning out earlier, and the fan blower is working just fine. And the cool buttons are lighting up when I push them in, and the recirculate button is lighting up when I push it in. But I'm not getting cold air, so I do believe the air is going to need to be recharged or serviced. Let me get out on the road. Getting into some Friday traffic. I might have better luck if I turn around and go the other way. Brake squeak. Odometer is turning. If I'm going to be able to build speeds to use 5 and 6 much, I'll get in there anyway. There's fifth gear. Steering wheel's holding the road nice. Sixth gear is operating without an issue. Turn signal right, turn signal left. turn signals cancel properly. I'm not looking at the gauges, but you can. About 180, but at 50 it's all right. That Corvette only wishes he was this cool. This little light that I had on up here earlier, I do not see it anymore. Cruise control. Back a little bit so I can get a quick acceleration here. Accelerates real nice. Here we go. Brakes feel good. They've quieted down some. Didn't get a squeal on the approach of this light or the last one. So maybe ceramic pads and sitting for a while. Not really sure. Hard to say. Since I'm at the light, I was reaching down to try the radio, but that is not going to work today. Clock is definitely working. All right, we're going to get one more jackrabbit start. Car handles good, no real complaints. I got some complaints about these roads, but the car's doing pretty good over the bumps. I think Lewis and Clark had better roads to travel by. I've got the excitement button is on. Not sure what that is. I've got this light is back on. Check our temperature real quick. Oil pressure. Not seeing any issues. Going about 4 miles. That light is off and that light is off. I didn't push the button. Alright, Porsche experts, I'd ask you to leave comments and share your opinions on that. But it's not a public video, so only one guy's going to see it. But you, my friend, can share this video with your favorite mechanic and see what he has to say about that. Seemed that those lights went on and then came back off. Now that I know that, I'm keeping an eye out for them. Digital paint meter reflected all factory readings all the way around the car. It does not test for urethane or rubber bumper covers, and the front bumper covers definitely been painted, at least in part. And there may have been some blending work done into the right front corner of the car. The readings up there were 12 to 15 mils, where the typical readings all around the car were 4 to 6 mils. Pull the parking brake. The parking brake light comes on. The excitement light comes on, but no light up in this upper corner. Again, don't know what that is. Upon final examination by video, there's probably 150 to 200 still photos I took today, and just kind of going around the car to give you an overall feel of the presentation. I showed a few paint chips or marks up there, probably the worst one being on the hood. There's a small wheel through rub mark right here on the edge of the wheel lip, there and there. Not too bad. Didn't really see any physical damage to the rear bumper cover. There's a significant chip on this side. There it is. Right there. That could be touched up. It's not too bad. I didn't do it. We've got a couple little just kind of ballpoint pen style stone chips there and there. One up here. A little 2-inch scratch there. On this quarter panel, I believe I took a photograph. The silver's kind of forgiving out here, and it's hard to bring it back up. I thought there might be a little scratch on this quarter panel. I'm not seeing it at the moment. Another stone chip right there, if I didn't point that out. The fitment of this molding, I'll have to look on the other side and see what the gap looks like. I've got a rock chip on the back side of the mirror, or a very dried, dead bug. Cosmetics on the car, generally speaking, aren't too bad. There's a little hairline stress crack here in the lower front right area of the spoiler, and just a little bit of overspray on the rubber seal here, sealing the bumper from the fender, and again on the bumperettes. That could be cleaned up. Considering the paint is getting close to 30 years old, it's been preserved pretty well. I would have to say that as an occasional driver with almost 50,000 miles, there's a little pull out right there that needs to be tapped down, dollied down, and it would go away. But overall, a pretty nice presentation. It's Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise, autoappraise.com, 800-301-3886. I'm wrapping up a pre-purchase inspection today that's going to one guy only. I think he's in Texas, not sure, I haven't talked to him. But we're going to give him this video and a bunch of photos and see if it's something that he's going to buy. So if you're watching the video and you didn't pay me, again, this car might be sold already and sit in somebody else's driveway, or it might still be for sale. Have a great day. Feel free to leave some feedback if this video turns into an open content public video. Thanks.